Saturday, and I was going to go riding today, but I thought I needed the full day to get finalized on everything. A lot of stuff packed. I've got my gear. You probably saw the video from the last video that came out, but I still have a few things to tweak. One of them is the pack that I'm going to be riding with. I was initially going to ride with a smaller hydration pack, but I decided to stick with my usual, and that is the Wolf Pack Vest. And I love this pack so much. I use it for a lot of stuff. And the really nice thing about this pack is even if I decide that I don't want to have the additional bulk of the side pockets here, I mean, these are really good to have, and I almost always run with them because you can quickly grab bars or tool or something like that. So I put all the energy gels and my GoPro batteries and things like that in here. But if I decide that I want to be a bit more streamlined for the race, I can just click these out like so, really easy. And then they come with these additional packs here. It just kind of comes off like that. And then you've got these kind of L-shaped things here that click in like so. And then they just come around like that. So then it turns into a more streamlined pack. And if I wanted to, I can also remove the tool pack here as well, or keep it on. So it's very modular, and I may or may not do that, or I may ride one side without and one side with. It isn't really that heavy. It's more just, sometimes I just feel like I want to be a bit more streamlined, but it's mostly a psychological thing. But they're quite good in that respect. They're quite light. Even though it looks heavy, it's just made of canvas, so there isn't much to it. And the other thing that's great about it is you can carry everything you need without feeling like it's really heavy. I find some of the other packs, especially ones that just kind of go over your shoulders and don't have that additional clip around your waist, the weight distribution just seems a bit off, especially as you're hitting a lot of the jumps and things like that. So anyway, I love this pack. WLF doesn't pay me or anything like that. I'm not sponsored by them, but I just love their product. Got a Canadian patch on it. And now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to go through sort of my essentials of what I want to bring in the pack. I took a lot of stuff out. Like I carry usually a lot of stuff like license plates, more tools, candy, whatever, extra plugs, things like that. And I'm really trying to decide what are the real essentials that I need for Erzberg. And, you know, I saw a lot of the videos and the guys were carrying larger packs, and the more I thought about it is if you get out in the race and something silly breaks, like a lever or just a bolt or something like that, and you couldn't fix it, how much of a bummer would that be that such a small repair could cost you? I mean, that's always the case, but I figure it's worth the extra pound or two to have some bolts and just a few spare things. It's not going to be as equipped as it normally is. Maybe I should throw this in there. Nah. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that. And then I also have my energy gels and everything like that. I picked all those up yesterday. Throw those in the side. And that should do it. I'm not going to wear this for the prologue, of course. I'm just going to... The prologue is almost like an MX race, so there's no point in trying to be super... equipped. It's not like if anything breaks on the bike on the prologue, then you're not going to be able to use that time for qualifying anyway because it's so tight. So on the prologue, I'm just going to wear a jersey and my armor and stay as light as possible. And yeah, so now once I'm done doing this, I think I'm done doing this, I'm going to remove the rear suspension from my EX300 GasGas. It's a linkage suspension, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you because it's a thing where a lot of people have different techniques for it. I think I figured out what works best with the GasGas. You can pull it up through the top, or you can drop it down and out the bottom. It depends a lot on the bodywork of the bike. My Husky, you can actually get it out of the top, but I think with the GasGas, a larger hole. So I'm going to try that first. And then I'm going to take that suspension, throw it in here, and then I'll be fully ready for my suspension. And today the goal is to just get all the race stuff prepped. And then as far as what I bring in clothing and everything like that, that's pretty straightforward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... It's a little bit tricky because I've got this guard on here. But basically I'm going to take out the... take this off. And then I'm going to drop the pins, drop this down. And then over here, once I get everything off the side, the hope is, because you can see it's actually quite a bit wider here, when this all comes off the side panel, remove the silencer and loosen the bolts on the pipe, and it should just come right up and out. I tried that on my Husky over here, but you'll see it's a lot tighter because of the way the frame is, and I couldn't get it out, and you can see how tight that is in there, and I couldn't get it out, so I had to end up doing it the other way and having to take the wheel off and pulling it at the back. So anyway, I'm more optimistic with this one. I hope I'm right, because otherwise I'm doing double the work again. But I'm gonna get this linkage guard off first so I can show you what I'm doing. Trying to do anyway. So this is the Bulletproof Designs linkage guard, and I'm very happy with it. It's really well made. It looks cool, and it came to me from BFD Moto out west, and they shipped it right to me. It's been a great product. It's really easy to install too. As you can see, I'm just taking this part off here, and that's pretty much it. Get this off, and once this bolt comes off, then the other part comes off as well. So you can see here, this guard has already been doing its job. You can see that there's been some scuffs already, and it looks like the linkage under there is in perfect shape. So that's good. That's good. It's doing its job. And I'll take off this bolt here. It's the next one I want to take off. And this is just a pin that goes right through. And I'll show you on the other side how it's removed. It just kind of slides through. It's just got your nut here. I got this Guts seat cover not too long ago, and it's great. I really like it. It was easy to put on. Same thing, I got that at BFD Moto as well. Shipped very quickly. It wasn't expensive, maybe 50, 60 bucks, I can't remember, but it wasn't bad at all. Just stapled it on, and it's been holding up really well. Okay. That's my amateur stapling job there. All right, so we got the seat off. I'll get some of the side panels off here. A couple 6 mils up here. Just gonna take that off. I don't really want to take off the front part, just because then I gotta do all the rads and everything. As long as I can get underneath here, and then I can get the plastics from here. See, I don't even need to take this off entirely. I'm just gonna kind of scooch this down a little bit. It's not a particularly hard job. It's just a lot of bolts to be playing around with and taking out. I guess I've been spoiled with the PDS system, where it just comes out with 2 bolts and drops right down. So easy. Take that off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up this bolt under here so this can just come back a little bit. I don't need to take it off. Alright, so you can see here I've loosened up this bolt and this bolt over here. And this bolt over here. And that should give it enough movement to just kind of get it out of the way as I'm trying to bring it up. If not, I suppose I could take off the pipe entirely, but yeah, I'm hoping I don't need to. All right, now I'm just gonna pop this one through, this pin. Take it over to the other side and show you. One thing you want to do as you're trying to get this out is just turn it so that it's parallel to where the chain is. Just be very gentle here. I just can't quite turn it with my fingers, so just very gentle. Make sure not to. You turn it like that. Okay, just like that, and then that way it'll slide right out and over the chain. As you're doing that, you just kind of put your foot underneath and kind of use your toe to take the weight off, and it makes it really easy to just hammer it through with I used the end of a T. Use like an extension, and just with a rubber mallet, nice and lightly, it'll come right out. Same on this side. You can see I'm just using my toe here. Lift this up, and just when you lift it up a little bit, it'll really release the tension, and then you got your whole linkage off. Yeah, look at that. It's doing its job. Linkage looks great. That actually was before I installed this, so of course I'm going to get damage before I install it. All right, so now that those bolts are out, you can see this will just drop down like this. This will come up like that. And the shock is just being held on by one bolt up top here. So you can see up here, that's the only bolt that remains. And I'm really hoping I can get it through this side panel here. Hoping for the best. We'll see. I just want to show you something. So the problem with this shock down here is, you see, it won't go, there's not enough space. So I'll just show you. I managed to get it out. I haven't pulled it out yet, but you can see it just came up right through that way. Just nice and easy, gentle, gentle. And you're coming to Erzberg with me, buddy. Better clean that up a little bit before I pack it up. All right, let's bring this over. One thing I'm going to do quickly is just spray this with WD-40, just because I was using a degreaser and I don't want this here to dry out. And you know, it's always good to just, especially on the thread here on the preload, just spray a bit on that, and then I don't have to worry about it. Looking pretty good. All right, it's looking good. Look at this case, it's all packed up, ready to go. Got my whole case there, cool stickers, and my buddy's P3 carbon on the back. All right, one thing I'm gonna do before I head over, even though I may have to do it again while I'm over there, is put on some tearaways for my goggles. It looks like it's going to be quite muddy, and the prologue, you're often chasing someone either 30 seconds or a minute behind, so you can get roosted, and everyone's seen the footage off the beginning where, you know, it's just often a crazy mud pit. So you need good tear-offs, a lot of tear-offs, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I know most of you probably know how to do this already, but for those of you who don't, because I've had some questions here and there at races on how to put on tear-offs. I'm just going to go through that quickly. There's two types of tearaways. One is tear-offs, same thing. There's laminates, and then there's tear-offs. And the tear-offs are stacked tear-offs, so that means that they just come out in individual, and then you stack them on one on top of another. The problem with the stackable tear-offs is that you're always going to get a little bit of dirt, and they're a little bit thicker than the laminates. So the laminates come already stacked and laminated together, so that way they're basically hermetically sealed between the two. So here you have 2 packs of 7, and each pack of 7 is going to be already pre-stacked, and because they're sealed, they're perfectly clear between. I think they gave me a free set. Haha, look at that, bonus. All right, so yeah, so you can see here that they're kind of hermetically sealed, and you can stack 7, 14, even 21 and still see through them very clearly, and that's a huge advantage and worth a little bit extra cost for the laminates, in my opinion. So I've already done this one. You can see I've thrown some laminate tearaways on this one already, and I'm going to show you how to do this, because that's the key, so you can keep tearing them off. This one has 7. I'm going to throw another 7 on this one, because I really don't think that I'm going to need more than 7 for the prologue race. And if I do for the second day, then I can always throw them on. So you also notice I'm wearing gloves. It's so much better if you can wear gloves, because you don't get all your oils all over it. So just throw on some cheap latex gloves. Make sure your lens is very clean, or a new one. And then you're going to throw on the laminate like so. Click it in. Okay. And then it's going to click in over here as well. Now with some goggles, you're going to have another little strap here that has another one of these nodules that you can click these on and fold over, but I don't bother because I find it slides around, and I just use the same nodule on on the lens itself. Okay, so here's the trick, I guess, is as you're folding these in, you want to fold it in, and you see this hole right here? You're going to fold that over and through the first nodule before clicking it through the hole that is already there. It looks a little awkward, but once you kind of get the routine of it, yeah, if I can, right, so goes through and then clicks in like that. See? And you're just doing that for each of these. So as you're folding over, whoops, hang on, messed that up. So you're folding through, because there's often two holes here. One is if you have that strap on the other side, and then the first one is the one you want to be clicking through here. So there you go. So there's your first, and that'll bind up like that, so you can tear them off one by one. And I'll try and get more in a routine here and show you. Folding through, clicking over, and then clicking in like that. It's kind of like dealing cards, sort of origami, I don't know. But fold it over and then click it through. Okay, so now that you've got, you see how clear that is? So now that you've got those laminates on, you're not going to get water through them, and they're just going to come off. You're going to be tearing them off one by one like this, reaching up with your thumb, ripping forward, ripping forward, ripping forward like that. Another thing is when you do get them on, really good idea to remember to throw them in a cover, so that way they're ready to go. Do it so that the tear off section, the binding part, is sticking on the outside, and you're ready to throw them in your bag. Good to go. Okay, I just weighed myself with all my clothes on, 162. So now I'm gonna get on this and see, hopefully this will tell me how much the suspension weighs. It is 46 pounds. Not bad. I think that'll work.
Hello, hello.
Oh, nice.
That's what it is. You gotta represent. Here you go.
All right, these are going on something. I was gonna say my bike, but my bike won't be there. I'll have to put it at least on the suspension case here. Oh, nice. I love it.
Chris coming to you here?
Yeah, we're gonna all drive together.
Take a nap?
Yeah, he's gonna spend the night Monday.
Right.
And then we're going to all drive in the truck together. We'll just throw everything in the truck and go.
Dive in for
yeah,
one
3
car.
ways, that'll be fine. Oh yeah, there we go.
It'll be probably easier to carry this up, Erzberg.